I would disagree slightly, Peter, with one part of your question. If you remember back, Prime Minister David Cameron wanted the United Kingdom to be much more aggressive in Syria, and the parliamentarians in Westminster voted no. I was briefing in camera a number of politicians back then, and I said the problem that you've got is by the time you make up your mind for a small-scale intervention, the time for the effectiveness of a small-scale intervention will go. And then by the time you make up your mind about a medium-scale intervention, the window will be closed for that, and then you're going to be left with an unholy mess that requires a large intervention. That's where we're at today. And we've now got to look at this war between us and them in a much broader context. There are the home wars that we need to have with homegrown second and third generation. There is tiny number of people that are coming in as refugees or supposed refugees with terrible effect that we saw in Paris. But then let me link your question with the previous question in an unusual way, because we always talk about refugees and asylum seekers as a threat, not an asset. Over history, militaries have spent treasure and blood to get spies behind the front lines, to understand the enemy's thinking and where they are. And we now have thousands, no, millions of people who understand ISIS, understand their theology, understand their thinking, who hate them with a passion. And we're turning our back on these people. I look at these 12,000 asylum seekers, not just as asylum seekers and refugees, but in there is the potential members of our security and intelligence forces who will tell us more about Islamic State than we've ever known before. They are the greatest assets we can have in this war, if only we start to look at them as assets. And that is a critical part of this war that we're missing. The whole intelligence place, human intelligence that we gave up on a long time ago. But we do need to have the discussion as France, as United Kingdom, as Australia, as United States, what actually are we wanting to do in this war? And if we're going to do it, go back to the lesson from Vietnam. Right. Do it properly.